tools of the trade. So Coach Cramp has he's got all
my training aids, some of the many I use down there.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to tell you is, ladies and gentlemen, everyone, is that with this and this, you can become much more efficient and improve your rotational speed and power in probably 15 minutes or less. So let's get started. May I, real quick?
Sure, yes.
So this is a total control ball. It's actually used for hitting in baseball and softball. This is the 74, so it's very light.
Yeah, very light. Very light. Yep, very light.
Yeah. So the one thing that I really love about the TC ball, from my standpoint, is, you know, those heavier med balls.
Yeah.
You can't really load up and do the full range of motion that you would with a golf swing.
Sure.
You know, so is there anything that you like about the ball?
I like the weight of it. I think it's great for all ages. I think you can increase speed. It doesn't take much. I mean, there's a company out there, Super Speed Golf. They use Speed 6 lightweight clubs to generate speed.
Okay.
So it's lighter than your average club. And then they have one in there that's heavier, but it's a great way to increase speed and work on stuff. You don't need a lot of weight. You just need to work to try to increase the speed and push your threshold.
And I think it serves as a cue too, as well. You know, it's cueing the right motion, and so that's why I love that. So the other thing that so plyometrics is the means of strengthening that trail leg. Actually, you can use it to strengthen the lead leg, but if you don't have a lot of time and you really want to improve along the margins, this actually is going to give you the most bang for your buck. So we're going to start with single leg hops, and we're only going to focus on the trail leg. So the reason why we're focusing on the trail leg is it's the driver of the
downswing,
the downswing, and the full drive.
Without
correct.
A doubt. Yep.
And you can't shoot a cannon out of a canoe, so we got to upgrade that canoe to, you know, a yacht. So
it's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're going to do is, anytime you engage in lower body plyometrics, actually using med ball throws is upper body plyometrics, but I digress. So you want to point your toe forward, okay? And we're not trying to break the world record here. We're just working on generating force and actually absorbing force. That's the reason why this is such a great drill. When athletes jump on boxes, they're generating force, but the boxes actually absorbs the force, and the landing is really the key. So if you can absorb more force, it's kind of like lifting.
Got it.
If you can bench press 500 pounds, you know, it's not the coming down that matters, it's the going up. Right. Well, it does matter coming down too. You got to control it.
Yeah, you got to control it. Sure.
But if all you did is just pushed up and then you didn't have to control it coming down, or if you had to control it coming down, you're not getting the full benefit.
Sure.
And so this does that. So you have active foot, you've got an arm block, and then you have a knee drive. So I'm going to talk about the active foot right now. So like I said, you're just going to lift up the foot, and then if you can, you either land flat or more heel toe. You don't want to land toe because you're getting a lot of force in a very small area, and you really want to absorb all the foot. Absolutely. Thanks. So let's talk about knee drive. I'm going to switch spots just so we can focus on this. So a lot of people, when they jump, they pull their knee, they leave their knee here and then try to jump. So it's kind of like trying to hit a driver from here, just from there, instead of loading up. Right. Exactly. So so it's not front, it's not even, it's back. Okay. So that's a key thing. Now we're going to talk about arms. So, you know, you've got to coordinate the moving the foot, driving the knee, and the arm all at the same time. That can be a lot. So what we do with the younger junior golfers, we put their hands on their hips.
Perfect.
So then you take that out of the equation, and all they're really focusing on is driving the knee and hopping over the cone. So with all that said, we're going to get started. So I'm here. I'm going to load, my arms are going to switch, my knee's going to drive. And I'm just going to land right here. I really want to work on sticking the landing. And if a cone is still too hard because you're starting out, then just do this. Just do a hop and stick. So you're going to want to do forward hops. Now, you want lateral stability as well. So what I'm going to do, let's see how I can do this. Actually, I'm going to be here. So I'm going to put my right foot on the right-hand side of the cone, and I'm going to just hop over to the left. Stick that. And then I'm going to start with my trail leg on the left side, and we're going to go to the right. Okay? And you're going to stick that. So I would say do 5 of each, so 5 forward, 5 right to left, and then 5 left to right. Okay? So one drill, 3 different aspects that you got to do. So now, I guess in regards to that drill, coach, what do you see the benefit of, landing?
Huge. I think as you were doing that, it struck upon me just the balance aspect of it.
Okay.
Two, if nothing else. I mean, that's got to help a little bit in the core.
Yep.
And that's got to help stabilize. And any type of the core and the end, you have a strong lower body, that stabilizes the golf swing tremendously and creates power.
Awesome. So, yep, core stability, and then obviously strengthening.
And you know, from working with the kids, you've got some kids that are really good athletes right away, and they've grown in their bodies a little bit earlier, and they might have better balance, might have better strength and control of themselves. And then you have the ones that have grown 6 inches in the last 5 months, and they're not into their body, and they need to keep doing this to get better. And then I see it also in the older adults. That's one of the first things to go. They start to lose a little balance. They lose power. They lose strength. And why am I hitting it shorter? Why am I hitting it shorter? And they need to do more things like this, simple things like this.
Absolutely. Well, and with the older population, actually, plyometrics, it strengthens bone density.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there's lots of benefits to plyometrics, but you got to do them safely and not go crazy.
No, right.
So,
and these are safe, simple.
Oh, absolutely.
That cone is not high. It's something you can easily do at home. You could put a small pillow on the ground or something and do the same thing. It works pretty easily. But sticking the landing, I think, is a huge part of that. And it's interesting how you brought that up.
Absolutely. So, Coach, I'm going to switch spots with you because I'm going to do one of my favorite drills. It's the Hayden. So, basically, it's named after Eric Hayden, who actually... Wisconsin,
yep, exactly right.
Go Badgers, right? Or Wisconsin. So right foot's going to be here. And so we're moving laterally. The key is in the knee, all right? So I'm going to drive my knee over, not my foot. If you drive your foot, then you're off balance. So that's the knee drive. And then the arms. You technically could do hands on hips and then drive over. Once you get comfortable with that, what you're going to do, how I coach it is I have people point their elbow in the direction that we want to go with their lead leg arm, and then you load back, you drive, and again, the goal is to stick the landing. Now, because we're going from weak to strong, the force generation isn't as stable and as powerful as it is. So if I go from here over, totally different because I go from stable to unstable, versus unstable to stable. So real quick, so when you see that drill, what do you see? How does that transfer to golf?
That transfers when you're getting off of the trail leg into the lead leg. That is that force of being applied into as you start to rotate, as you start to clear your chest, clear your hips toward the target on the downswing. And you and I both talked that most good players, as they swing the club down on their downswing, when their lead arm is parallel to the ground, they already have 75% of their pressure on their lead leg. And that's an eye-opening stat when I'll tell it to people that continue to hit the ball and fall backwards. And those people would be someone that would hit the ball thin, hit it a little bit of ground first, hitting the ball fat, versus the player who's got their pressure going the right way that hits downward and hits ball then ground, where they're low points in front of the golf ball. Those are the better iron strikers. Those are the ones that hit it further.
So this is a good drill to
Good.
really work
Really good
on
and simple
force
again.
transfer.
Again, simple.
Absolutely. So once you get used to, you know, just the basic movement, you can actually use 2 cones and give it a target. Again, we're not trying to, you know, break world records here. We're just working on, you know, generating force and absorbing force. So you load here and land here. Now, Coach, this summer, I came up with a new drill. Excellent. I think you've seen it.
I've seen some of the videos you've sent me.
Yeah, absolutely. But now, so what I came up with is, instead of loading here, load up like you're holding a driver and transferring over.
Perfect.
So, what do you think about that drill? Just again, really, you know, loading up and working on. Now, the key point is the toes got to point forward. I kind of landed there. But from that standpoint, what do you think?
Well, I think it goes the same thing. If you're here loading up, you've got to transfer that pressure into that lead leg as you're going through. So any motion getting you going forward is huge to ensure that, like I've mentioned before, that your chest and pelvis clear so that you can clear through the ball, maintain your posture, and strike a ball solidly.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so now that wraps up this section. We're gonna get into med ball throws. See you in a sec.